German field dentist, World War I. The rotor carousel reached 33 revolutions per minute, creating a centrifugal force of almost 3G. When people stuck to the wall of the drum due to the force, the floor was automatically removed for greater effect. USA, 1950s. A sleep holder. In 1949, Dr. Igo Seeger from Vienna invented this device for railway travel. Vice Admiral, his wife, and a Rear Admiral stand before a ceremonial cake celebrating the successful U.S. atomic tests at Bikini Atoll, 1946. Vin Mariani, a popular 19th century drink, called the favorite wine of celebrities such as Alexander Dumas, Conan Doyle, Robert Stevenson, Jules Verne, and even Queen Victoria. It contained cocaine and was banned in 1915. Austria, 1954. One of the first tornadoes ever photographed, 1898. A Turkish official taunts starving Armenian children with bread during the Armenian Genocide, 1915. A crowd burning books that did not conform to the ideology of the Hitler regime at a mass event in 1933. Sleeping with the Enemy, collaborator girls of the German-occupied Europe, a French girl wearing a German uniform, 1940. After the war, such girls began to be publicly humiliated. One of the warehouses, filled to the ceiling with victims' shoes, Auschwitz, Poland, 1944. American submarine rescuing a pilot shot down by the Japanese, future U.S. President George H.W. Bush, 1944. Feminist Ellen Wagner stands beside 350,000 signatures demanding women's right to vote, Sweden, 1914. A captured German soldier in front of the burning Reichstag. A 23-year-old man who switched from the communists to the side of the South Vietnamese government was captured by the communists and spent a month in a concentration camp where he was deliberately starved. Robert Wadlow, the tallest recorded man in history, with his family, 1935. The iceberg photographed the day after the Titanic sank. There is a high probability that it was the cause of the sinking. Robert Wadlow, the tallest man in the world, at 8 feet 11 inches, is pictured here in a rare courtroom photo from 1939. A dark chapter in Louisiana history. Under an 1848 law, children born to incarcerated black women became property of the state. Mothers raised them in prison until age 10, after which the state sold the children through newspaper ads. Turtle racing in the U.S., 1920s. A turtle's body isn't built for this kind of weight, posing a risk of injury, but in America, there was always a desire to make a show out of absolutely anything. A photo of the gruesome mask of the maniac Edward Paynell, known as the Beast of Jersey, which he wore before attacking his next victim, 1957. Liberated prisoners of the Buchenwald concentration camp, 1945. Seventh from the left in the second row is Elie Wiesel, future Nobel Peace Prize laureate. After serving 14 years for robbing a bank, John Voidovich got a job as a security guard at the very same bank. The inscription on his t-shirt reads, "I robbed this bank." Teeth sharpening among Indonesian tribes, 1938. Declassified photo of a spy pigeon used by the CIA in the 1960s during operations in the USSR. This Japanese soldier lay for 36 hours with a grenade in his hand, pretending to be dead. After promising not to resist, an American offers him a cigarette. Leader of the Aum Shinrikyo sect greets the mayor of Moscow at the opening of a sect branch, Russia, 1992. 3 years later, members of this sect carried out a terrorist attack in the Tokyo subway. Torgau, 1945. Soviet and American troops meet and hug near the ruined bridge across the Elbe. Their smiles are genuine, yet they mask 4 years of shared conflict: Stalingrad and Normandy, the siege of Leningrad and Pearl Harbor. The fall of the 38th U.S. President Gerald Ford from an airplane ramp, Vienna, Austria, 1975. During World War II, the U.S. Department of Defense commissioned Walt Disney to design children's gas masks. Japanese soldiers using Indian prisoners of war as target practice, World War II. People trying to board a plane during the evacuation of American troops, South Vietnam, 1975. Vincenzo Peruggia stole the Mona Lisa from the Louvre in 1911, and in 1913, the painting was found in his hotel room in Florence. The death stairs at the Mauthausen concentration camp were the place where prisoners carried granite stones weighing about 50 kilograms, 110 pounds, up 186 steps. Guards forced them to make up to 10 climbs a day, regardless of the heat or cold. Due to the exhausting conditions, many fell, dropping the stones on others, leading to injuries and deaths. 1943. Unusual dog transport method, Paris, 1920s. Collar of an ancient Roman slave with the inscription, "Catch me, I escaped. If you catch me and return me to my master Zoninus, you will receive a solidus." 4th century CE. A solidus was a Roman gold coin. Rally of Loyalty, held in Berlin after the assassination attempt on Hitler and the attempted coup d'etat, July 21, 1944. Fish sale, halibut catch, Netherlands, 1913. The world's first flying man, Otto Lilienthal. He died in 1896 when his glider crashed from a height of 15 meters. His last words before death were, "Sacrifices are inevitable." Rapper 50 Cent in 1994. At that time, he was just a 19-year-old thug convicted for drug trafficking. A Polish resistance fighter checks her hair after a German air raid during the Warsaw Uprising, September 1944. An organized criminal group that terrorized London from the Victorian era until the mid-20th century was called the 40 Elephants, and it was made up entirely of women. London, 1880s. The last male northern white rhino, guarded by soldiers until his death in Kenya in 2018. The 2 remaining females live under 24-hour protection but cannot reproduce, marking the tragic end of an entire subspecies. The largest horse in the world, captured in 1927 in England, named Supreme. An enormous horse, 2 meters tall and weighing 1.5 tons, was as heavy as freight trains. Bundles and bags with personal belongings on the streets of the Krakow ghetto after the remaining inhabitants were sent to Auschwitz, March 1943. They were ordered to leave their things. They would no longer need them. The Death Wall in Rajkot, India, 1970s. At the start of a combined dog and women's race, USA, 1927. Inside a German World War I submarine. A U.S. confectionery company stored its molasses in an enormous tank in Boston and severely skimped on maintenance. This led to an explosion, and 9 million liters of molten syrup swept over the city. People, horses, and cars were stuck fast in the molasses, and not everyone could be saved. Russian peasants are introduced to electricity, 1920. Nebraska resident Audra Thomas photographs herself as a tornado approaches her farm, USA, 1989. Albert Einstein's desk, photographed just hours after his death, 1955. The first known use of biological weapons, the Siege of Kaffa in the 14th century. The attacking Tatars catapulted plague-infected corpses into the city, causing an epidemic. It is believed this contributed to the spread of the Black Death in Europe. Fijian chief Udra Udre, the most gluttonous cannibal in the world. He ate nothing but human flesh and consumed no fewer than 900 people throughout his life. Albert Einstein with his mistress, Margarita Konenkova, a Soviet intelligence agent, USA, 1940s. Former prisoners of the German concentration camp demonstrate the torture methods they endured, Germany, 1945. Slave market, USA, 1864. It was only after the Civil War and the ratification of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution that slavery was abolished in the country. The only Japanese survivor of the Titanic lost his job in his homeland and was nicknamed a coward because he did not show bravery and did not perish with the other passengers, as befitting a descendant of a samurai. Saving Private Donkey. A French Legion soldier during the Algerian War carries a wounded donkey back to base, 1958. The donkey survived and became the base's mascot, named Bambi. Dar Robinson jumps from a 7-story building to demonstrate a new rescue device, an inflatable bag designed to save people from fires, 1974. Unit 731, a conveyor belt of death. A special unit of the Japanese Armed Forces conducted biological weapons research, experimenting on live humans to determine how long a person could survive under various conditions, such as boiling water, dehydration, starvation, frostbite, and electric shock. Japanese people commuting to work in the morning, 1964. Due to population density, pushing and embracing strangers is an everyday occurrence for them. The clock frozen at 8:15 during the bombing of Hiroshima. Waiting for the Loch Ness Monster to appear, Scotland, 1968. The first Coca-Cola bottle sold to the public, 1894. The completion of the assembly of the bomb called Fat Man. It would later be dropped on Nagasaki in 1945. Men's hairstyles from the 18th century. Model K. Heffernan demonstrates the safety of the insecticide DDT, New York, 1948. It is now banned due to its danger to living organisms. Sister Mary Kenneth Keller, the the first woman to receive a PhD in computer science in the USA, 1965. One of Hitler's doubles was his chauffeur. In the photograph, he is to the left of Hitler. The driver often substituted for Hitler at various events. Prisoners of the Herero and Nama during the genocide in the early 20th century. In the late 19th century, scientific progress was astounding the world. A simple cleaning lady from the USA was so inspired by this that she bequeathed herself to science. A fine for an overtly revealing swimsuit. Heemskerk, Netherlands, 1931. The car in which Princess Diana and Dodi Al-Fayed were traveling after the car accident on August 31st, 1997. Dinner in the luxurious dining hall of the Hindenburg airship, 1938. A woman's wild reaction to Mardi Gras, participants in New Orleans, 1980s. Racial hatred. A hotel manager pouring muriatic acid into the pool to get black swimmers to get out of the pool. British fascist Oswald Mosley on an attempted march through Manchester, 1962. Women make decoy heads to help spot snipers on the front lines, World War I. Mandarin Wan Hu ordered 47 rockets to be tied to his chair to fly to the moon. The chair exploded, and the Mandarin disappeared. The servants thought he had flown away. China, 16th century. Japanese pilot Yamamura is the only kamikaze to escape death 3 times. First, he was shot down, but saved by fishermen. Then the mission was canceled by bad weather, and a 3rd time, he was forced to return by technical malfunctions. Plymouth, Massachusetts police officers salute their service dog, Kaiser, as he is led to the vet clinic for euthanasia. Pro-Khomeini militia fighters patrol the streets looking for the Arab population. Khorramshahr, Iran, 1979. Mrs. Dickerson from New York with a 363-pound Black Sea bass she caught, 1901. First German soldiers advanced toward the USSR border, June 22, 1941. A couple watches the launch of the Apollo 8 spacecraft, 1968. British Captain Robert Campbell, during World War I, was wounded and captured in Magdeburg. In November 1916, he learned that his mother was dying of cancer and asked Kaiser Wilhelm II for permission to visit England. The Kaiser granted him 2 weeks with the officer's word of honor. Campbell visited his mother and returned to captivity, where he stayed until the end of the war. In the 1930s, the Soviet Union attempted to create a human-chimpanzee hybrid through insemination. The experiments were unsuccessful and were discontinued. Actor Ron Storm, on the right, takes a break in a restroom, UK, 1970. He was known for playing female roles. While a man in a dress once shocked audiences, times have certainly changed since then. A little girl from the Philippines displayed at the Coney Island Zoo with animals, 1914. She was placed among monkeys and lizards, tied with ropes, and visitors threw peanuts at her. In the 1930s, a woman's pregnancy was determined by inserting her urine into frogs. If, after 15 hours, the frog started laying eggs, it meant the woman was pregnant. Replica dog tags of every soldier who never made it back from Vietnam. Hachiko with his owner, Professor Ueno, 1924. A pharmacy cabinet, England, 1730. A ride on the metro, 1990. A temporary morgue at the Seguro Social Baseball Stadium in Mexico. One of the most destructive earthquakes in American history occurred in 1985, killing 10,000 people and injuring 30,000. Masonic Lodge Meeting, USA, Arizona, 1897. A military trick by German General Leto Vorbeck. The youngest soldier, at the end of the line, jumps into an elephant's foot, trampling the tracks. German East Africa, World War I, around 1914. The bathing machine, a device popular in the 18th and 19th centuries for swimming at sea beaches, allowing men and women to bathe while preserving the proprieties of the time. Prisoners of the Dachau concentration camp greet their liberators. Germany, April 1945. Thank you for watching this video until the end. I hope these photos impressed you. Some may have made you angry, brought a smile, made you happy, or perhaps even caused some negativity. Feel free to leave your comments and stay tuned for the next part. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Bye.